My name is Randy Bigley. Joining me on the podcast right now from the Bucyrus City School District, we have Superintendent Bob Britton. Good morning, Bob.
Hey, good morning, Randy. Thanks for having me in today. I appreciate it.
It's always like having you in, so it's always
it's good to be in here. It's good to get the news out about Bucyrus City Schools and what's going on, and all the good things that are happening out there right now.
And we're certainly happy to have you here in Bucyrus.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you're going to be here for a little bit longer.
A little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
So at least 3 more years. We'll see what goes on from there. So,
good. So
right.
let's talk what's happening with the school district.
Well, I tell you what. Last week we just finished up our Right to Read week, and we got some numbers back from the building level literacy night. Literacy night, we had over 600 families show up.
Good.
Which is 600 people show up, which is really the biggest literacy night we've had in several years. I mean, I think that's a testament to what's going on with our administration and teachers down in that building. Making kids feel welcome.
Sure.
Safe, secure. Providing an environment where they feel like they're wanted and they're needed and. They're enjoying themselves. It's a good time. We had a guest author come in earlier in the week. We decorated the hallways, for the book that she wrote, and all the kids were very engaged during the presentation with the author on Tuesday, and things went very, very well. And then this last weekend, in our elementary school, we just had our elementary musical, Disney's The Descendants. Tremendous performance by our 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. Went very well. They had 3 performances, Friday, Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon a matinee.
Great.
So, it was a good time, and it was very, very well attended by the community. I think they really
It's always good to hear. When
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have some really good things going on. This weekend, we have our high school musical, Little Women. We will have 3 performances of that as well on Friday night at 7 o'clock. And then on Saturday, there'll be 2 performances, a 2 p.m. matinee and a 7 p.m. performance.
Okay.
There will be no performance on Sunday. But we're looking forward to, another great performance by our musical kids, our cast and crew, and a lot of attendance by the community. We're looking forward to that. Good.
I'm glad to hear the community's being very supportive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You couldn't ask for a better community right now.
Great.
Things are going very well.
Awesome.
So spring sports are well underway. Well, with today's little curveball that Mother Nature threw to us, I don't know when we get back outside, but we have baseball and softball scrimmages starting up here real quick. Track meets will be starting here in the near future, and we're starting to wind down with all our end of the year award ceremonies and things like that. I know the 29th of March. We have a all boards dinner over at Pioneer, so we'll recognize some of our Pioneer students with their senior. I can't think of the word that they use, but they have a senior project they need to do, and we'll have some students presenting their projects to us in the Board of Education. Then we have our elementary music program. The 1st and 2nd graders, I think, will be March 30th. And then we go into April, and you're just continuing all those events for athletics, and our proms on April 29th this year.
Wow,
be held out in the building across from the Old 30 Barbecue. Last Saturday in April. So things are really going well.
Seems like this time of year it flies by. There's so much going on, and you're winding stuff up, and it just seems like before you know it, it's the end of the school year, right?
That's correct, absolutely. Because you look into May, and our kids are graduating on May 26th. Last day for students is May 25th. So that's not very far away. It's only about 2 months.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that'll go fast. That will
go very fast.
Wow,
absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. Anything else going on?
Well, obviously there's the elephant in the room right now with everything that's been going on in the newspaper and on Crawford County Online or Crawford County Now, I should say, with the police officer in the situation with the Bucyrus City Police Department. The officer being a former SRO within the schools. That particular individual has not been an SRO since last May. And I want to make sure people understand that person was not in the same role. They were taken out of the school in May because we had a shortage of police officers on the street, and they needed to move him back to the street. So we didn't have an SRO in the buildings at all until February 6th. At that point, Officer John Seif was assigned as our school security officer, retired from the police department in November, had to sit at 60 days for that lapse in public service, and now he's back with us as our SRO in both buildings. Going down that timeline, I thought it was very very good. Chief Austin and I put that timeline on Crawford County Now, stating what they had done. The interesting fact is at the bottom it said that officer had not been in the building since May. We didn't find out as a school district, however, until February 28th,
Okay.
about
Yeah.
2 weeks from today,
Okay.
or 2 weeks ago from today. And we were informed because there was a public records request made, and at that time they informed me that there could be some stuff coming out. My first initial reaction was always, okay, were there any kids? Were there any staff involved? If there were, why wasn't I informed earlier? And they said, nope, there's nothing in there other than things that were against police department policy.
Okay.
So they took action right away in October when they found out through an interview with the Ohio Highway Patrol. Paid administrative leave, back on duty. The officer resigned in November. At that point in time, according to what I was told, they thought that was the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, then there was another investigation through Mansfield City Police Department, I believe. And what I was told, that was still going on, so I was not at liberty to say anything to anybody at that point. And then when the article came out in the newspaper, it had been turned over to the prosecuting attorney in Richland County or Mansfield City, and now all of a sudden the paper gets a hold of it, and now it's out there.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure everybody knows we weren't trying to hide anything. There was nothing, in my opinion, to release at that point because it didn't involve any of our students or any of our staff members.
Right.
And I tell everybody all the time, if you have any questions regarding this situation, please call me. I'd be willing to talk to you at any point in time about it. Unfortunately, I wasn't here last year when that officer was on duty here, and I'm just catching the end of it. But as far as I know, people really thought highly of the officer. That officer did a great job within the buildings, and just happened to be make some decisions that probably weren't the best
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
for the profession.
Here's another thing. Don't believe what all you read on social media or whatever. Ask questions. I got a hold of you. Ask questions. Don't believe, everybody's going to say different things in room. It happens all the time. So if there's any questions, ask you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. The phone number to the office is 419-562-4045. My direct extension is 3225. My emails are britton@bucyrusschools.org. Like I said, I'm willing to talk to anybody at any time. All you got to do is just get a hold of me. Let me know.
All right. Anything else, or is that about it?
No, that's about it. Like I said, I'll be back here in May to talk to you again, and we'll kind of wrap some things up at the end of the school year and give some dates out that we have, upcoming award ceremonies and things like that. We'll have our senior night and baccalaureate ceremony sometime in May, and then we'll have a graduation, and we're planning for next year already.
All right,
we're
sounds
getting
good.
Getting things ready. All right.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you, Randy. You have a great day.
You too.